Alright, hey guys, how's it going? So today I got a great song for you. We're going to do Baptism by Chesney and Randy Travis. It's been a minute since I've done a country song, but I've always loved this song. It's got a great kind of vibe to it, great lyrics. Heard it a lot when I was a teenager because the Chesney Greatest Hits CD got stuck in my car. My CD player broke. It was the only CD I had in there for like a year, so I heard this quite a bit. We're going to play it not exactly like the recording. All the chords will be the same, all the notes, all the fills and licks and walk-ups and everything will be just like the recording. But I think they play it with a capo on the recording, and I just sat down and figured it out in standard tuning. So we're going to play it that way, but it still sounds great playing along to it. Sorry I'm so out of tune. My strings on this guitar are really old, and it needs a setup, little fret dressing and everything. But anyway, probably the trickiest part will just be the intro. Like I said, they might be playing with a capo, or it might be played this way, I don't know. But let's just go ahead and get into the intro part. Alright, so for the intro, we're pretty much just outlining 4 different chords. We have E, E with G sharp in the bass, A, and then B. Alright, so we're going to start out, do these kind of E major licks to get into these little triads here. So we'll have... Alright, so that'll be our first half there. So we're going to hammer on 2 to 4 on A, then plug D on 2, then just hit the open E string. Let that E string continue to ring out the whole time until we get to the A chord, right? Then we're going to repeat this same phrase, except we're going to pick it and play it on the G and B string. So after we go... We're going to go 4 to 6 on G and then 5 on B. Then we're going to go to 7 on E. We're just going to slide off like 3 frets. Kind of just slide off. Okay, and then we're going to bar 4 on the from A down on the 4th fret, and we're just going to pick A, G, and E with our fingers. Alright, you could look at this, you could call this a couple different things, right? You could call it like C sharp 7 with no third. You could call it G minor at 11. When we put the E down, you could look at it as, you know, like E over G sharp. You know, there's a lot of different ways, or like a E major 6. I won't get into all the theory, but we'll just call it a bar on the 4th fret, plucking the A, G, and E strings. How about that? So after we pluck that, put your middle finger down, 5 on B. Alright, so we have... Alright, so then after you hit B on 5, keep that bar. We're going to go down to 2, bar the D and G string there, and just hit D to G to open A. Okay, so we have... Alright, it's a quick change. Okay, then let that A string ring out. You can mute it if you want, but I just kind of let it ring out. And then we have open B to 2 on B, and then open E to 2 on E. Then we're going to bar that 2nd fret from A down, and we're going to pick the A, G, and E string just like we did up here on the 4th fret. Kind of look at this as like a B7 with no third, or you could look at it like F minor at 11. Pretty much just the B7 though. And then we're just going to hammer on to 4th fret on the E string. I usually like to use my pinky here. You can use whatever finger you can grab with it though. Okay, then after you hammer on to 4 on E, pick it again, then pull off 2 to open, then 2 to open on B. Alright, so we have... Okay, then you hit the open E, we repeat everything the same again. Except this time, we won't do this little walk-in. Right, we'll just go straight to open E. And we go right here back to 4, 6 on G, right? Alright, so the second time around, you just don't go to the lower strings. After you hit that low E, you go straight back 4 to 6 on G to 5 on B. Do the slide off. All that's the same. Go to A. Now after you hit that B7 and you hammer on to 4 on the high E string, we're gonna slide back from 5 to 4. Then I'm gonna pull off 4 to 2 on E and pull off 2 to open. I think they might pick it again. You could pick it twice if you want to. I just give it one slide and pull. Alright, so that'll be your whole intro part. Alright, and then from here we get into the verse chords. So let's go ahead and get into the verse. Alright, so for the verse chords, I'm going to use the same kind of picking pattern, right? You can kind of change it up. I'm phrasing it slightly different than they do on the recording. I just think it sounds good here. So I'm going to hit the root of whatever chord I'm playing. And then I'm going to hit the D string, and then pick the G string, and then pluck the B and E together, and that'll be the pattern I'll use throughout these chords, right? Alright, so we have E major, hit the open E, then you have 2 on A and D, 1 on G. But I'm just going to pick 2 on D to 1 on G, and then just pick B and E open together. Then I'm going to slide into 4 on the low E. You can look at this, I kind of see this as being E with G sharp in the bass. We're not playing like a full-blown like G minor, like a G sus thing, right? So we have slide into 4 on the low E with your thumb, have 6 on D, 4 on G, and then the open B and E. Alright, then we're going to go to A sus2. I hit the open A, then hit 2 on D, then 2 on G. Then pluck the B and E open. Okay, then I'm going to hit the open A. And then I'm going to hit 2 on A string, 2 on the G string. And then pluck the B and E together. Just make it kind of like a B7. Alright, so you have... Okay. Then we do this little lick. We're just going to pull off 4 to 2 on E to open. And then get 2 on G. And then back to open E. Okay, so you have... Repeat all that again. Second time, I'll come up here and I'll go 4 on low E, 6 on D. I'll bar G and B on 4. And then I'll pick D to G. And then I'll hammer on 4 to 5 on B. Kind of making it that full E over G sharp, right? Then back to your A sus2. This time we're going to go play B sus4. 2 on A, 4 on D and G, open B and E. I'm just picking the A, G, B, and E strings. Alright, so second time. Okay, then we're going to do this walk up. It's going to walk us into C sharp minor. Like I said, I think this is capo, so they're probably doing the walk up, like walking it up there. I don't know, some open strings, maybe a capo on the second fret. But so we're going to walk it up. I'm going to hit 4 on D once. I'm going to hit it again. And then I'm going to slide in to 6 on D to 7 on D. Then we're going to walk down. We're going to have C sharp minor. I'm going to pick it. We'll have 4 on A, 6 on D and G, 5 on B with open E. And I'll just pick A, D, G, then pick the open B and E. And then I'll pick D and G again, but you can play with the picking however you want. The chords are correct, so it's going to sound good no matter how you arpeggiate it, right? So just kind of use your own feel for it. Then we're going to walk down to that B sus again. Alright, so then we go down to 2, 4, 4, A, D, and G again. Do the same thing with the picking pattern. And I kind of hit the root first, the sec 2 on the A string. It's kind of a quick slide back. Okay, and then I'll just pick A, D, and G, and then open B and E. Then I'll pick 4 on the D string. Then I'm going to hammer on 1 to 2 on G. This will lead us into the A sus2, right? So after you hammer on 1 to 2 on G, hit the open A string, and then just pick 2 on D to 2 on G, and then open B and E, right? Now here we're going to pick D to G again on 2. Then we're going to play this version of a G sharp over E, right? I'm going to have my ring finger on the 4th fret E string, pinky on G on 4. I'm going to pick low E to G on 4. Then I'm going to hit the open B. I'm going to have my index finger on this F sharp here on this 2nd fret on the high E. And with the low E string, I'm just going to hit it with the B and go off of it, right? And we'll just go back and forth between that. Okay, then we'll go back to A. I'm just going to hit the open A string. Then I kind of just hit G on 2. And then we do that 2 to open with our pinky here on the 2nd fret. Then hit the open E again. Go back to 4 on E. Hit 4 on G. Then the open B with 2 on E to open. Alright, so we have... Okay, and then from here I'm going to hit the open E again. After I hit this open E the last time, we're going to do that F sharp, kind of with that F sharp minor 11, add 11. So then we'll have thumb on 2 on the low E, 4 on A and D, 2 on G, open B and E. Then we're going to go B sus 4, 2, 4, 4, open, open, and then open E major, open 2, 2, 1. Alright, so that whole little verse part we have okay, and then we'll finish it with this lick that leads us into the pre-chorus. We're going to slide back from 5 to 4 on the high E. I like to use my pinky. Then you're going to pull off 2 to open on E. Then you're going to hammer on 2 to 4 on E. Then pull off 2 to open. And then hit the open B string. Then we get into the pre-chorus part. So the pre-chorus, we're going to have D major, and then we're going to go A major. So we have 2, 3, 2 for your D major. Then we're going to go A major, 2, 2, 2. And then I'll do the A sus2. Just take your middle finger or ring finger off of B. Then your E major. Then I'll do this kind of 6 slide. Now when they play it on the record, they just go, so you can just pull off, have 2 on G, 2 on E, and pull off to 1 on G and open E, then slide up 2 to 4 on G and E, and then I just slide back 4 to 2, pull off again, and go back to the E major chord, but you can play it however you want, right? So that we're gonna go A sus2, open 2-2, open, E major, then that F sharp at 11. Okay, then here when it turns around into the chorus, I'm gonna go, what I'm doing here, there's a lot of muting involved. I'm gonna have 2 on A, 4 on D, but I'm gonna mute out the G and B string, and then have 4 on the high E with my pinky. So I'm kind of playing like a power chord, but with 4 on the high E string at the bottom. It's just so I can get the root note and just kind of play the chord, but also play the lick at the same time. And then I'm going to slide in with my pinky 4 to 5, and then I slide back to 4, and then pull off 4 to 2, right? So you have, and then you go to your E major, right? So you have okay, and then we get into the chorus part. So let's go ahead and get into the chorus. Alright, so for the chorus, we're going to start out after we do that little lick. We're going to start at E major. Then we're going to play E over G sharp. Have your thumb on 4, mute out the A string, 6 on D, 4 on G, 5 on B. I leave the high E muted, but you could play it if you wanted to. It just kind of gives it more of a unison kind of thing if you play it. So E to E over G sharp. I'm going to play all these suspended. Like you could play the full, I just think it sounds better suspended. So we have A sus2, open 2-2, open open. Just give 1 downstroke on each of these. Then your B sus4, 2-4-4, open open. Back to E major. Alright, so you have I do this little E major lick. I just slide in 2 to 4 on E, bar A and D on 2, hit the open E again, and then go straight into A sus2, right? So after A sus2, we go to E major, and then your F sharp at 11 there, and then to your B sus4, 2-4-4. Alright, so that F sharp at 11, you have your thumb on 2, 4 on A and D, 2 on G, open B and E, then to your B sus4. Now the strumming is real sparse. You don't want to sit here and just be like, you kind of want to mute in between, just kind of do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so then we walk into the second half of the chorus. I'll do some strumming from that B up to a C sharp minor. So I didn't see no angels, just a few saints on the shore. We'll have our C sharp minor, 4 on A, 6 on D and G, 5 on B, open E. Then we go down to our A sus2. I like to just continue to use my ring and pinky because we're already playing that shape here. Kind of slide down. If you keep that shape, you can get right to your E major chord, open 2-2-1. Just lift your pinky off and you put your index finger down, you're already there, right? Alright. Back to A sus2 after E. Okay, so the little walk down part, we go go E major, then we're going to play B over E flat. We'll have 6 on A, bar D, G, and B on 4. Then your C sharp minor, 4, 6, 6, 5. Then walk it down to your B sus4, just play your B power chord, 2, 4, 4. Then your A sus2, right? Then back to B. Okay, and then the first time around, it goes right back to E. And you can start playing that intro part again, right? But the second time around, we end the chorus. We'll do, we'll switch and we'll go to this really cool change. We'll do this F sharp 7. Right, so the second time around, when you play the chorus, you'll have, where am I at? Let's see, Alright, so the second time when they end the chorus, it's a really cool change, right? So you'll have your E major to your B over E flat, to your C sharp minor, to your B, to your A sus, back to B, then you can kind of slide in back to your C sharp minor. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep, since we have our pinky down on the G string here on the 6th fret, you can kind of slide down to the 3rd fret with your pinky, and that'll set you up to play this nicely so you don't have to regroup and use your middle finger or your ring finger for that G, right? So just slide it down, and we'll have our thumb on 2, mute out the A, 2 on D, 3 on G with your pinky, and then have 2 on B with your middle finger and have the open E string. I just kind of strum that out. And then you end it by playing it the same way, E. They all kind of just get one hit. You could play more if you wanted to, or kind of mute it. That gets kind of obnoxious, so just kind of try to... Okay, and then here, alright, so from this point, we'll have the bridge of the song, right? And so after you do that little walk up from your G or F sharp 7, and walk it back down, we'll do this little lick again. And you start singing "This road is long and dusty." So we'll slide back 5 to 4, pull off 2 to open, hammer on 2 to 4 again, pull off 2 to open B. Then we're going to go D major, 2, 3, 2, to A major. Then we're going to go that F sharp minor 11, whatever it is, to B sus4, to E major. Okay, so yeah, this road is long and dusty. Sometimes the soul it must be cleansed. Alright. And then you're going to finish it. We're just going to play D major, A major, that F sharp minor 11, and then we're going to end on that. You could end on B sus4, or you could do that thing with the, do that little lick, right? So that's the whole bridge. Down with the old man, up with the new, all that stuff, right? And I'll show you another thing you could do. You could go, you could do like a little kind of like Jimmy R&B type of thing. You could go open E, slide into 6 on D, 5 on B, then go 7 D and B, back to 6 and 5 D and B. Then slide in from 7 to 9 on D and B. Let those ring out, and then pop 7 on the high E. You're just walking up these 6 out of your E major scale. Then hit your open A. And after you hit your open A, go 4 on G, 5 on B, hammer on to 6 on G. Back to 4, 5. And then just slide back 6 to 4 and pull off to 2 on D and hit the open E again. So if you wanted to kind of do some of the vocal melody, you could there. Or where's it go? And then back to your A. It just keeps on walking it down, right? So that's some kind of vocal melody stuff you can throw in there if you want to. But that's everything, right? That's the whole song. So it's a great song. There's not a lot to it, but the way I'm playing it, I'm probably making it like really, really difficult, way more difficult than it should be if you were like using a capo, but it's always good practice. I don't like using capos because I kind of had like PTSD. I played a gig a long time ago, and when was this? I can't remember. But I was like an hour and a half away from home. I didn't bring my capo. The other guitar player didn't have an extra capo. It was 10 o'clock at night. There wasn't any like music stores around that were open. There's nothing I could do. I was just screwed. And I had to sit there and frantically, we had 3 songs that were capo, and I had to transcribe all these with bar chords and be able to like, like, okay, I got C, I got G. I mean, I played it the most difficult way possible. And then that made me, kind of lit the fire under my butt to start being able to transpose things more quickly on the spot from a capo in case that situation ever happens. So now, unless I really need the capo for like a higher pitch sound, like if you're playing up on like the 5th or 7th fret with a capo, kind of hard to mimic that. Not really practical to bar those things, but I always try to play things without a capo just so I don't ever forget one or need a capo to play. Like a lot of times you see these guys doing like crazy finger picking stuff, and that's cool and it's not easy to do, but if you take the capo away, you can't play anything. If you go to a performance and you didn't bring your capo, you can't play any of the stuff you've learned. So I don't like trying to have an external device to be able to play things on the guitar. I'd like to know, it makes me like less anxious to know that if I just have a guitar, I'm good. I don't need a slide, I don't need a capo, I don't need anything, I don't need a pick. I can get whatever I need with just my hands and the guitar. And so anyway, yeah, so hope you enjoy it, hope you have fun with it. Just practice slow, have fun. See you next time.